Let's dive into a fresh angle commentary on Micah Bell from Red Dead Redemption 2. Not just as the gang traitor, but as the ideological wrecking ball of the Linde Gang, how he represents a thematic pivot in the game, and why his corrupting influence is so central to the story's decline. When Micah first appears, he presents himself as a capable outsider who's earned a place in the Linde Gang by saving Dutch van der Linde in a bar fight in Crenshaw Hills. That origin story already tells us something. He literally forces his entry through violence and opportunism, and Dutch rewards that over more considerate traits. From there, Micah begins to pull the gang toward ever riskier maneuvers. He's the driving force behind the ill-fated ferry robbery at Blackwater. That job goes badly, forcing the gang out of the West and starts a spiral of decline. What's fascinating is how Micah embodies the survival of the fittest, cynical worldview. One member of the fandom put it simply: he's a manipulative and cunning character, using his wit and charm to sway the opinions and actions of the gang. He doesn't believe in the moral code that others in the gang cling to. Instead, he sees life as a hostile game where loyalty only goes as far as survival. According to his wiki entry, "Sympathy is for the weak" is a direct quote of his philosophy. As the story progresses, Micah's role shifts. He grows from a violent foot soldier into Dutch's confidant and counselor. He encourages Dutch toward ever more extremist actions, blowing up Bacchus Bridge to distract the government, getting the gang to ignore pleas to rescue Abigail when she's captured, and generally destabilizing Dutch's original ideal of a free life outside the system. In this way, Micah is a corrupting agent. He doesn't just betray the gang, he changes it from the inside. Why is he so effective at that? First, because he flatters Dutch's ego. Dutch is increasingly disillusioned, his ideals slipping as the gang's fortunes decline. Micah uses that prey state to push Dutch into risk and cruelty. Second, Micah actively undermines the others. He mocks Arthur's tuberculosis, black lung. He bullies weaker gang members, and he sows mistrust between Arthur and Dutch. That dynamic gives the player a tangible sense of tension and rot inside the gang's relationships. Micah's betrayal is multifaceted. He's working as an informant for the Pinkerton Detective Agency, feeding information, all while wearing the mask of loyalty. And, crucially, he kills or tries to kill Arthur if the player's honor is low, evidencing that his treachery is active, not just philosophical. From a thematic perspective, Micah is a foil to Arthur. Where Arthur Morgan gradually reflects on his life, his loyalty, his mortality, especially after his tuberculosis diagnosis, Micah doesn't care for introspection. Arthur is defined by regret and hope, however slim. Micah is defined by ruthlessness and self-interest. That contrast sharpens the tragedy of the game. The moral path Arthur treads is undone by Micah's nihilism. There's also an aesthetic choice. Micah often wears a white hat, a Western trope usually reserved for protagonists. But here it's subverted. It signals how the game flips expectations. The good guy's hat belongs to the bad guy, hinting that things are off-kilter.